Guild Wars 2. End of Dragons. It's been 250 years since the events of that first game. Those changes are to be expected. Since 2012, the plot of Guild Wars 2 has been steadily chugging along through in-game seasons and expansions. We've seen the MMO's biggest city devastated and rebuilt, had a fistfight with the god of war, not that one, and now we're preparing to reintroduce our band of world-saving misfits to the land of Cantha. Why? Well, apart from the gorgeous scenery, Cantha is home to Dragon Jade, a material that's absorbed so much magic over the centuries that it can be used to create all manner of bold new inventions. Like basically anything in the Guild Wars universe though, this Dragon Jade has caused conflict, and now Cantha is an area in which stability is disputed by rampant gang warfare and the growing strength of some dangerous radical groups. In my hands-on with End of Dragons, I got to find out exactly how the Pact plans to deal with these organizations, siege turtles. They're exactly what they say on the shell. Like something you'd see in Warhammer, these are giant turtles that can haul around several players, artillery cannons, and enough shielding to just about survive the worst that Cantha can throw at it. One of the driving forces behind how hostile Echovald Wilds felt is that it's home to a conflict between two rival gangs, one of which is the Jade Brotherhood, who seem to be for the development of new Jade tech by any means necessary. A Cantha version of the Inquest, if you will. Particularly worth noting is there are a few Tengu members of the Jade Brotherhood, which seems a bit to the contrary of what players know about the Tengu as a whole. What's important to note, though, is ArenaNet has made an effort to show that groups' races aren't monoliths, and although something is generally true about them, there are always outliers. Which is an excellent way to go with things as it makes the world feel more realistic. Although we only got the barest taste of this from the preview, I look forward to seeing more examples of outliers in EAD and hope that it is all done in a way that makes sense and works. This beautiful region might seem a little empty the first time you visit it. According to Andrew Gray, lead content designer at ArenaNet, that's actually purposeful. My personal favorite thing about guild halls is that they have a very robust build decoration system that is one of the best avenues for players to display their creativity. He says, the players have constructed everything from mazes to jumping puzzles to full-blown race tracks that go through their entire halls using the guild decorations, often in ways that we did not ever consider them being able to do. The Isle of Reflection works very well with the decoration system because there's a lot of open space. It's a beautiful map, but we've deliberately left open space to allow players to have their own creative freedom. I operated the cannons during the Siege Turtle event and used them to smash through the turrets and defenses the Jade Brotherhood had set up. I think this is going to be one of my favorite mounts. Firing from the back of the turtle while trusting another player to dodge attacks and use the turtle's rocket thrusters to traverse the lab was a blast. The mount made it feel like I was playing the event with another player, rather than just playing independently near them. In addition to the new mount, I also got a chance to try out one of End of Dragon's new elite specializations. I played as a warrior with the Bladesworn specialization, which provides access to offhand pistols. But what I liked most were the new abilities that came with it. Using Bladesworn abilities helps build a meter, and once it is sufficiently filled, you can pull out a gunsaber, which turns the warrior into a gun-toting samurai. Beyond being an amazing aesthetic, the gunsaber provides a great payoff for using your regular abilities. Its most damaging skill requires charging in place, though, so players will have to find opportunities where they can stand still for a few moments to be rewarded with massive damage numbers. Finding space to stand still was particularly challenging in the strike mission I played. Strike missions are 10-player instanced content that act as a stepping stone for players who want to play organized content but aren't quite ready for raids. The strike mission in the preview was a lengthy, complicated boss fight. New Qianeng is a blend of the historic culture of Cantha and the new age steampunk technology. You can quickly move from a buzzing market with neon signs to a tranquil waterway with cherry blossoms and wooden red pagodas. The contrast is striking but tastefully done. And it's nice to escape to a secluded spot when you've been in the chaos for too long. You can hop on your skiff or pull out your fishing rod on the shoreline and partake in the latest Guild Wars 2 pastime. It'll give you a chance to take in your surroundings before diving back into your adventure. What makes New Qianeng even more exciting is that it's an active zone with dynamic events. So, while you're exploring of your own volition, an event will pop up and drag you off to another location within the city to discover something else. It's very easy to get distracted, in a good way. After the preview, the only question remaining is whether it will be enough to entice returning players. While Guild Wars 2 does have a consistent, devoted community, there's always a significant influx of people who haven't played the game in months, or even years, when a new expansion is released. To keep the game alive and competing with other huge MMORPGs, Guild Wars 2 needs those players to stick around. I worry that the deep lore being developed in Cantha, while fascinating, involves a lot of callbacks to the original Guild Wars. If the team relies too heavily on those references to carry them through any aspect of this expansion, they risk intimidating their players with almost 2 decades worth of lore.